Aloha, everyone. Welcome to Activate and Elevate with Jan and Sheila. We are here today. It is our last day of March 2023, March 31st. I'm grateful for everybody joining us, and I'm going to kick it over from Maui down to Southern Cali. Miss Jan, welcome and good morning.
Good morning, everyone. So, I was in Arizona for the Arizona event, and then I got to go to Sedona with Dr. Stacy, Marcy, and April Vaughn. And I am so privileged and lucky and grateful that I get to hang out with them and learn from them because it's just unbelievable. So anyways, I came home with a massive ear infection, and I was in the urgent care last night when Sheila texted me and said, "What should we talk about today?" And I felt like there was a knife in my ear. And as I'm sitting there waiting for the doctor to come in, I'm thinking, boy, what do we really need to talk about? What is like really important? So I thought, you know what? It's really, what have I learned? And it's about pre-qualifying people and following up. If you don't follow up with people, you're just wasting your money. And I have given away more patches that is just a waste of time and money. And these are my patches. I don't use Marcy's. I kick in a lot for the stuff. So what I've learned, now when I want to send patches to people, or if I have a conversation, and I hope some of you will try this, when you call to, talk to somebody about the patches, instead of saying, here's the website and I'm just going to send you patches, make them work for it. So this is what I do now. I either text it or email to people. So I'm going to read you what I am sending to people. So I'm writing, thank you for your interest. Let me preface this by, sometimes when you're talking to friends and they sound all excited, sometimes people are doing it just to be nice because they're your friend, right? And they're just being nice and no intention of following through with anything.
Right.
I want them to invest some time. If they can't invest a few minutes to look at information, I'm not investing $20 to send them some patches. So this is what I'm emailing or texting to them after I have a conversation with them. I write, thank you for your interest in the X39 stem cell activation patches. Before I send out the gift, I need you to look at this link, startx39now.com. Please watch the third video down from David Schmidt. He's the owner, inventor, and CEO of the company. I want you to understand the technology so you know what the patches are doing. After you check out the information, email, call, or text, and I will send you patches to try. Feel free to call me with any questions, best. And now I have people calling, texting, or emailing me back, that they looked at the information. So then after they do that, I email them back and I say, thanks for taking the time to look at the info. I'll mail the patches out, blah, blah, whenever. Please read the what to expect card that is enclosed with the patches. Few people will feel something within a few days. Most people can take a month or several months before they feel anything. There's also a health tracker enclosed as well. It's a good idea to fill that out because most people are hyper focused on the one thing that they're wanting to fix and miss all the subtle little things that are happening in their body. I will check in with you at the end of the week or whenever you send the patches out. Feel free to call me with any questions. From that, I signed up 5 silvers, a bronze, and a gold yesterday in one day. Right? I've never done that before in my life. So I'm making people invest some time. They have to be worthy of me mailing out the gift. So does anyone have any thing that they would like to add, share, comment on that so far?
Well, this is Beth Ann. I've been trying to coach with a brand new person,
Uh-huh.
He would love to hear that. Because he's not having luck, with enrolling. Where will he find the recording? Are you gonna?
You
And
will
this would be
find, Beth Ann, you will find the recording on my YouTube
your
channel,
YouTube? Mhm.
Sheila Hay Maui Life Wave.
That would be great to have that script typed. Can you, maybe you
Well,
could
you
even-
can email me, Bethann, at janjrand@gmail and just ask for the script that I'm sending to people to qualify them.
Yep, okay, thank you.
Yeah, so,
Excellent.
creating the conversation, finding out what's going on with them, talking about the patches, you're piquing their interest. But then, you can say, hey, I'm going to send you this information. You need to look at it. After you look at it, text, call, or email me, and then I'll send out the patches. If you don't hear from them, you can call them back in 2 days and ask them if they ever looked at it. If they say no, you can just say, well, after you check it out, get back to me and I'll send it. Do not send the information if they can't take a few minutes to look at that. And what I'm finding is people are emailing me back saying, I looked at everything. I'm even more excited now than I was before. So it's super important to make people work for the information. Yeah, Nina, did you have something you wanted to add?
I just think it's excellent, really, to just have whatever you've written and do that and say I'll send patches after that is incredible, because I am so stuck that I don't even know where to turn at this moment.
Well, and that's why we do this. I hang around with these big leaders who are in a whole different league. They've got the credibility, they've got, all that kind of stuff. Just a regular Joe Blow, I'm just working really hard. It's taken me 3 years to get to where I am, and I learn every day. And I actually made this stuff up all by myself. No one
Yay!
helped me, no one helped me write that. So yeah, and I've just been having great success. So yesterday I spent the whole day with my list book, and I actually have my list book. And I write down the day that I mailed the gift, and then in my emails I have a file to keep track of everything. And then I write down the day that I called, whether I left a message. If I leave a message, I text. And if I leave them, I just leave a brief message. Hey, it's Jan Rand. I sent you the gifts, blah, blah, blah. I just wanted to make sure you got them and quickly go over technology and how to wear them. And people are calling me back. They're emailing me back. And if they don't, I just make a note and then I try them again like 4 or 5 days later. And then people are, okay, so I won't get into the follow-up yet. Does anybody want to share some experiences they've had with the first part of, peaking, pre-qualifying, any of that? Any real life experiences that you've had?
I do have a comment, Jan. This is Denise Brown.
Oh, hey, Denise, how are
Hi.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What's your
Good.
comment?
Well, what you were saying about making the customer work for it is so true for me, because the problems that I've been having, I don't have them anymore, but initially me and my team, we were sending out patches and telling them, to wear them after we had talked to them first, but we didn't send out the video. They hadn't seen anything. So now what we're doing is kind of what you're saying. We're making them work for it. We don't send out any patches until they watch the video. Because if they take the time to watch the video, then they're interested, and you can go from there. But that's good stuff. And can you send us a copy of what you send out to your people?
Yeah, you can email me. Jenny, could you do me a favor and put my email in chat for me, sweetie? I love you, Jenny. You're the best.
He did.
Oh, thank you. God, I just lost I'm sorry, this
I'm sorry.
ear infection, I'm losing train of thought.
So let me say something real quick before we shift gears, Jan. What Jan is talking about when she says hanging out with the big leaders and things like that, that in the world of neuroenergetics and NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, we call that physiology of excellence. And to achieve the physiology of excellence, it contains 3 elements: a belief and value system, your physiology, and your strategies. Okay, well, it seems that right now we all have our belief system that the patches work, right? We use them. We're all in this room together because we've all shared the patches or had them shared with us, and we found success in our own experience. The physiology, that when you're talking about physiology of excellence, it's exactly what Jan was talking about, being with Stacy, Marcy, and April and witnessing them. They are literally modeling behavior for Jan to follow. Okay. And so I have to say, since I got back it's been a year now, back onto actively working my LifeWave business, that's what I'm doing. I want to watch Peter. I want to watch Marcy. I want to watch Dr. Stacy. I want to hang out with Jan, because when you literally follow and start modeling the behavior that allowed them to achieve their success, you can also achieve that success. But that's part of the strategy. Okay. So modeling states, anything you can do, I can do as well. Okay, so there you have it. Jan's our model for today.
I remember what I was going to say. If, when you're in conversation and they're having specific issues, you could also send them a recorded podcast. If, you can go to Telegram and type in if they're diabetic or whatever and make them watch that. Make them do something to qualify for the gift. So if you're more comfortable, like if they're diabetic or whatever, you go to Telegram, blah, 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 type in diabetes, there's like 1 of 47. And you can, pick one that you want and send it to them and have them call you when they're done watching it, but make them do something. So
Right.
that's all I have to say about that.
Excellent.
Sandy has a question too. But there, Jay wrote, I've gotten too many replies about people being happy with their supplements or special shampoo, etc. I'm not sure what gets lost in translation, that this is completely different. And we had this happen yesterday, Kathleen and I meeting with a lady, and we totally had to assure her to continue taking her supplements. This is not a patch that replaces supplements. Okay. And that's part of what you need to explain to people. Sandy, bring it on, doll. What's your question or statement?
Okay, this is an idea that I'd like to throw out that maybe you might want to think about for today or maybe for another day. But I love what you just said about the physiology of excellence, modeling the behavior. And by the way, Jan, it was great seeing you in Arizona.
Yeah, you too.
So there's a line that we've heard, but it's just become more prominent at the top of mind for me, that people are drawn to LifeWave either for the product, the opportunity, or the community. Now, we focus a lot, like what Jan was just doing, was on the product, getting people interested in the product. Now, I know that when I'm talking to people that are in their 20s, they're more interested in the opportunity. So I also have had an opportunity to talk about the opportunity. Community is like the glue of the whole thing, and we rarely take the time, I think, to talk about how very dear and precious this community is. Although, Sheila, that's what you were leading to when you were talking about modeling the behavior and how much we learn from each other, and the concept of momentum, which is probably a scientific concept, I would think. So yet again, we've got this science at the foundation of what we're doing here. But anyway, I just think those 3, I've just never seen us focus on product, opportunity, community And I'm thinking that way more as I'm getting people interested in LifeWave. So I just thought I would share that.
Yeah, and I'm glad you did, Sandy, because, you know, we always talk about we need to listen, and you really do need to listen. A friend of mine a couple of years ago had contacted me about the patches. She saw something I posted on Facebook. And when I talked to her, she told me that she was so I don't, not depressed, but she felt like there was nothing left in life. She was like basically planning her funeral and her husband's, right? And she's only like early 70. And I heard community. So it's like you listen to what people are telling you, and then you talk about what they're handing you. So, and I always tell people, you know, whether you are looking for some extra income or you just want to pay for your patches, if you're looking for community, you just want to give back. There's one more that I'm missing. Community, what is it, Sheila? Community,
Opportunity.
health. Oh,
Health.
health, finance, whether it's better health, better finance, more community, whatever it is that you want or need or are looking for, it's here.
That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, you have to listen to what people are saying to you.
And
It
here's something about listening. So Kathleen and I yesterday, we were coming off of the volcano, driving down from visiting people that, you know, we're working with on patching. And we get a phone call from one of our downline, and she owns a gallery here, just 2 minutes from my house and Kathleen's house. And she said, I want you here now. I've got a lady that needs to see you. And we're like, we're driving, we'll be there as soon as we possibly can. So we get there, and Auntie comes and we explain to her, and she signed up as a silver yesterday. And as we're sitting there, we are literally sitting in an art gallery, okay? And there's all this hustle because they're changing the gallery pictures. And Christine, the lady who called us, she 6 different times says, you're coming to this art showing, this first showing at 6 p.m. on Saturday. And Kathleen and I kept agreeing. And what we realized as we got outside and got in the car and started talking, she is opening her door to Kathleen and I. Okay. And she is allowing us, inviting us. She's not inviting us to come buy art. Okay. And one of the things she said to us yesterday before we walked out after the auntie left was, I'm in this for service like you guys. It's not all about the money for me. She owns a gallery. Her husband is a renowned Hawaiian painter that has art in all the state buildings. I mean, I was in a restaurant the other day and I saw his picture and I'm like, oh my God, that's what this is about, community. Okay. And when somebody is going to invite you into their community, allow it. Okay. Whether that's their yoga studio, whether that's a gallery, whether that is a church meeting. If somebody is inviting you someplace like that and they're wearing the patches and using them, they are seeking your community.
Can I add to that?
sure.
When someone is 72 or what have you, you know, maybe she's seeking more than community, but also a purpose. I think
Yes.
that the idea of a purpose-filled life is one that's really impressed me about what we do here, because we have a huge purpose to help people, to share with people, to change their lives, to make their lives better. And if someone feels like they've lost their purpose, when they find this community and that resonates with them, that can become part of that too. I just wanted to bring that up because I don't know how you can get that in the wordage for somebody, but you know, when we talk about how fun this is, that's why it's fun, because we get to change people's lives. And when people come and tell you, oh, I'm not going to have a hip replacement now, you know, that kind of stuff, it's just so fun. And it's part of the purpose, part of our purpose to try to help people have that. And I am 73.
Absolutely.
I'm
You
73.
nailed it. Go ahead,
So it's
Denise.
like, yes.
Mhm. I agree with what Beth Ann said. It's about serving and helping others. You know, I was diagnosed with endometrial cancer in December.
Oh, gosh.
And I went to my radiation treatment today, and I met a young lady, and we were just talking. And I shared the patches with her, and she was so happy. She pulled up the website right then, and just started reading it and just thanked me so much and said she would be calling me. We exchanged information. But that's one of many situations that I've been in. I just talk to everybody because I mean, I just want to get the information out. And because I have done a lot of network marketing before, my family and friends, they're like, oh, here she comes again with something, you know? So what I do, and I mean this from my heart, I tell them up front, look, I'm just sharing information with you. I'm not trying to sell you anything. This is just information that I want to share with you. And then I tell them my testimony and I go from there. But yeah, it's a wonderful feeling when you can help others. It really is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely is. I have a downline whose husband he has a super rare blood cancer, or is experiencing it. We don't label him like that. He's experiencing this blood cancer, and he's in his early 80s, and he was receiving 2 transfusions a week for years. And 4 months ago, his oncologist took him off of the transfusions, and 2 months ago took him off the chemo pills. This is utterly life-changing. Okay. And we are in service, Denise, and sharing that information, that is part of our walk. It truly is. So Jan, what's the next section?
I'm going to ask Dr. Greg Marshall. He has a testimonial that he would love to share with us. So take it away, Dr. Greg Marshall.
Greetings, everyone. This is my first time to join this Zoom group, so thank you for allowing me to be here. And I'm very interested. I am not a physician. I am an academic, and I have taught at this university for 43 years, and I loved every bit of it. And I'm in the health professions. I'm a registered respiratory therapist and also credentialed in sleep. So we're the sleeping, breathing people, 2 things we need to do a lot of. And on a personal note, I was having trouble with my feet. I went to the podiatrist. He says, you need to see my friend, who turned out to be an orthopedic surgeon, and took x-rays of my knees, and I was bone on bone in both knees. And he said, you're going to have a total knee replacement. I was very shocked. I didn't think, I thought my muscles were hurting, but it was that. So in November 6th, I had my first one done on the right side and convalesced for 4 months. And then I had the left one done. Well, before I had the left one done, I had some wonderful friends that came to talk to me about this wonderful product. And so what I decided to do was, I mean, I knew what the healing process would be and the recovery would be from my right side. So I put the X39 and the Aeon on each side of my knee, my operative knee that I just had the surgery on, freshly stitched up. And I'll tell you what happened is it healed so rapidly. It healed to where it looks like the one that's 4 months old, and it's only 4 weeks old. The physical therapist assessed me last week, and he said, I've been a physical therapist for over 20 years, and you probably are the second most quickly recovered that I have ever had. This is unbelievable. Your wound is so beautiful, and you've healed gorgeously. And I'm walking without a cane. You can't tell from looking at me that I've got 2 bionic knees now, but I have no pain, and I'm convinced, totally convinced, that it is because of the product. We just had some wonderful friends that you were talking about, you know, what the intro is. We had some wonderful friends that just came to us and said, my wife also had very slight familial tremors, you know, when you extend. But after she got the COVID vaccine, the second one. On the way home in the car, she started almost convulsing. She was conscious, but she was shaking. And the tremors went from mild to very severe, to the point where she couldn't even hold a spoon up to her mouth or drink from a cup. We went to the doctor. He sent us to the neurologist. Neurologist said, it's Parkinson's. Nope, it's not Parkinson's. You've had a stroke. Nope, we did the MRI, had no stroke. And at the end, he said, you're right. She's had a reaction to the COVID vaccine. And I'm sorry. Wish there was something we could do, but you'll have to live with this the rest of your life. So these friends of ours saw her situation, and they knew I was having surgery, but my wife was actually the one that drew them to us. And we ran into them and they said, can we come over and share some information? I'm really thinking that this might be an answer to Kathy's tremors. And I'm happy to report to you that the tremoring has greatly decreased. It's almost reversed to just the baseline that she had before she had the vaccine. And so we're believers. And I'm real excited to share this with people that we know that are looking for a natural approach and live long, live strong. And that's what we want to do.
Dr. Greg, can I get your phone number so I can move you to do one of the evening testimonial calls?
You sure can.
You want to give it to me here or put it?
I'm happy to. I'll
All right,
trust this
I'm ready.
group. My cell phone is 830-305-4608.
I get calls from all the people that do the calls all the time. Jan, can you get me a testimonial tonight? And I'm like, oh. So
Yeah, and I already got it written down for Kathleen for Tuesday. No.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
We are believers. Let me tell you one more thing that was pretty amazing. So I'm believing this, right? But I thought, you know what? I'm going to take the X39 patch and I'm going to put it right on the side of my leg where the metal, prosthetic is. And I felt bam, 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 a pulsating hard thump. And I pulled the patch off very quickly and moved it up a little bit. But what it did prove to me is that, oh my gosh, there's something happening here. And I don't know what it was, and it didn't hurt me, but it's not just a piece of Scotch tape with a little round piece of paper on it.
That's right.
I'll guarantee you, I'm a believer of that.
Where are you
Awesome.
located, if I may ask?
I'm in Texas, in Central Texas, just north of Austin, a little town called Round Rock.
Oh, I used to live in Austin. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Yes. Thank you for letting me.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any other questions, comments on pre-qualifying at all? No? Okay,
Mayor,
so, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment about what Dr. Greg said. I talked to my pastor's wife because my pastor had a stroke 2 years ago, and it was a brain stroke. And the doctor said that it was the kind of stroke that most people don't live through. But he's, he walks, he can't walk on his own. He has severe tremors. You can't understand really what he says, just little words here and there. But anyway, I talked to her about the patches, and she said she wanted to do a research, and she had an aunt who was a nurse. So a couple of days later, she calls me back and wants me to come over and talk to them, which I did. I left them some patches, and she ordered immediately. She got a gold pack. And 2 days after he was trying the patches, after he used the patches, she called me and said, Denise, I asked Pastor if he could tell any difference, and he shook his head no, but I could. She said, I feed him all the time, and I noticed that he could swallow better. He was swallowing his food better. She said, but I'm going to continue to watch it and observe, and I'll keep giving you updates. So a couple of days later, she calls me back and she says, Denise, Pastor's tremors They're still there, but they're not as severe as they were. They're so much better. So she called me today. I was getting my treatment, so I couldn't call her back, but I'm gonna call her after the call. She has another update for me. So I'm
Awesome.
so happy that I believe these patches are gonna help Pastor Porter. I just know it's gonna bring him back. I really do.
Thanks, Denise. That's
You're welcome.
great. Okay, to the dreaded follow-up. Who
Noemi
hates the
had a
fo-
question for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a comment. Thank you. Jan, I noticed that you are different when you speak today. I noticed that you have a lot of strength, you have a lot of conviction, and you're solid, and you're proud of what you've accomplished. You even made a comment, hey, I wrote the script all by myself.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's something about you that is just marvelous to see today.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you,
thank you.
Naomi. That means the world to me.
Well, it
You
means the
know,
world to me too, to see you transform in front of our eyes. And it gives me something as a pathway to follow, one
Aw.
step at a time.
Oh,
I'm gonna
sweet.
cry.
You are,
Yeah.
and you are a wonderful role model for me and maybe some others in this group. And you gave us something specific to you gave us something specific that we can repeat for ourselves, and you told us what results you've gotten. Plus, it's all over your face and it is in your voice. So I want to tell you that when I heard you, I'm like, whoa. So let me guess, when you have these conversations with people on the phone, you probably sound like you did today in our group. And I believe it's that quality of voice, that quality of experience, which Sheila beautifully explained to us where it comes from. It's that then carries through. Now, I believe that is the highest level of service we can provide for people, because to be honest, nobody knows how to figure this out. They don't know how to make this decision. They're not qualified. They're not interested. They're distracted. You know, they have all kinds of things competing for their interest. You have made it easy for them to do something specific and then get something specific. You gave them stepping stones, and you're giving them confidence in your voice, which transfers confidence to them to then do that first step, listen to the video, call you back, then you do something. You have given us a starting point, and we're giving the potential customers a starting point to engage with this. Okay, I mean, and I think that is the most important thing, is to meet people where they're at. And I think the simplest thing is to ask them to do something in order to get something.
Yeah.
You have hit upon a gold mine, because it is respectful and it is doable. It is not, it's not a challenge that nobody can overcome. It is actually something doable. It's appropriate. And I love everything about it. So you are my role model for today, and I'm so proud of you, Jan. Yay!
Naomi, I wish you were here. I would give you the biggest hug ever. You just made my day. Oh my God. Yeah, getting to spend time with the people I get to spend time with has been
And I want
a
to,
blessing.
yeah, well, I want to mention something else. I got that envelope from you with the little cards in it, you know, and so it finally got here. And then, I mean, you were out, and then you had to get the card, everything. So finally I got my package, and then I gave some out. And just to let you know, people can go to a website, and I'm not dealing with 20-year-olds. I'm dealing with baby boomers, okay? They go to a website and they go, yeah, so, and we have to go to 15 websites or 72 every day. It's like, yeah, get that out of here. I gave them the little envelope and I hand wrote my name and phone number on it, okay, on the back of it. And they're like touching it. They pull out a card. Oh, they love having something physical to touch. Can you believe that? So I want to
Wow.
let you know that you've given me something very specific to do with the script that you shared this morning. In addition, what you send out with those little envelopes with the 4 cards in them is working out to be very, how shall I say, useful and beautiful for the people that I am interacting with, okay? And that also came from you. So I want to let you know that having something physical that people can read over and over and over again is actually a loving way of giving out small bits of information, useful bits of information to the people that we want to share these patches with.
Sure.
Somehow they have to connect in with it. And it's not easy to get all that kind of coordinated. And those cards really have helped. So
Oh,
thank you
good.
for that as well. So
Thank you, Naomi.
So
Really
those
appreciate
are
that.
the 2 I wanted to share.
Thank you so much.
You're the best.
Wow. I'm blown away.
Jan,
Alrighty
while you're
then.
sitting there in your shock, I have another little tidbit of information to share with people. So I've been a Reiki master for over 25 years, and I studied the Usui line. And Master Usui, and the story, he, in his search, he found the Reiki healing symbols, and he started to go out into the slums of Kyoto, Japan, and help people with their, illnesses, sitting there, people on beggars on the side of the road that had whatever kind of illness. And he helped people shift through this energetic healing. And he came back a couple of months, and these people hated him and they were angry with him because they had nothing, no skin in the game. And now that they were healthy, they had to support themselves. They couldn't sit on the corner begging because people knew, why, you're healthy. Why do I need to give you money? So when you're talking about what Jan has done and setting this up for people to, hey, you go here, watch this video, contact me back. That is them putting their skin in the game. Okay. And if they don't have any skin in the game, what happens? How many people have you called up and said, I have, let's talk about 3.5 years ago. Hey, did you get those 10 patches I sent? Because that's what we were doing back then, was 10. I left them on my desk. Oh, the dog ate the envelope. Great. Whatever. They didn't have any skin in the game. And think about that. Okay. It's a really important concept. If somebody has skin in the game, they will come back to you and ask for more information. There are also the people on the other spectrum that are what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, they don't want to get better, okay? Because their husband's taking care of them. Their daughter comes over every Tuesday to give them dinner, whatever. That conditioning, that mental programming will not allow them to heal, okay? So don't take it personally when even your sister-in-law or your sister or your brother goes, meh, because you know what? You can lead the horse to water, but you cannot make them drink. And unless they have the skin in it, they aren't gonna do it. Go on, Jan.
I think
another
sometimes
thing-
it's been called secondary gain, Sheila.
That's it. Thank you, doll. I couldn't remember the words.
Some people are very put out by that because I know this person can be helped, but unless that person wants it and is ready for it, they would actually rather just keep rolling the way they are. And it's not for us to judge, but you can't change their mind.
That's correct. That's correct.
Another thing that I found by sending out those emails that I'm sending is it starts to build a rapport with people, you know, because they'll answer like, oh, I watched all three, or, you know, they're going to say something to kind of lead you, you know, to who they are. So it's helped me, you know, and then when I call them, they actually are answering the phone. And when I say who I am, they're like, oh, hi, I was waiting to, you know, so it's starting the process and you're taking control of your business. You're not giving the power away.
Love
So
that, Jan.
I'm just gonna, something that I found about the order form, because now that people are getting the order form, some people get confused. Sometimes they think that these package prices, they have to spend this every month. So when you get to the point of this is how I talk about the order form now. They'll say, well, I don't quite understand. Can you explain the different ways? So I always start off, well, you could do the one sleeve for $149, and this is exactly what I say to people, but that's so stupid. Why would you pay retail? That's my words. It's stupid. Why would you spend that much money? And if you're only going to try it for a month, don't waste your money. It's like, I don't want you to try it for 1 month. It's stupid. And I'm pretty blunt. You guys know me. I'm pretty blunt. And then I go to, you know, we have the preferred customer program. I go over the price and I say, and I used to be afraid to do this before. And I say, it's a 6-month commitment, you know, and you can get you one sleeve a month. You can add to your order. If you cancel or if you stop at any time and then you want to order again, they will charge you the $19.95 again to reset it up. And then I just say, which is why we always go with one of the packages. And then I don't mention the bronze unless they say something about financially really, you know, struggling. And then I go to the silver pack and everything I'm doing now, I've learned from Charity. And here's another thing. If you're struggling with something, don't be afraid to ask for help. You can, you know what? I was stuck. You know, I watched Marcy build what she built, but I never had somebody sit down with me and say, when you sign somebody up, this is how you get them started. And I called Charity because Charity is the master at duplication, simple and duplication. So I called Charity and I'm doing exactly what Charity does. I don't want to start people off on a bunch of different packages at once unless that's something that they want. And I just say the silver pack, you do 2 X39s and 2 Eons. And I explain why Eon, because, you know, we all know inflammation needs stem cells. Eon turbocharges the X39. That's going to keep you covered for a good 2 months. Then next month, I would add in, pick something that they mentioned to you so you can get that auto ship and let them know it's only going to be, you know, let's say they have problems sleeping. And next month, let's get you the Silent Night, and that will be $89, whatever it is. And then we'll talk and see what you want to do after that. And that's why I signed up so many silver packs and a gold yesterday. It was crazy, and 1 bronze because she was really struggling financially. So like, listen to them, but make sure that they understand that the prices on the packages is only a one-time deal. I'm amazed at how many people think that that's what they have to spend every month. Has anybody had that experience where somebody thought that? Yeah, I see some hands. Yeah. Anybody have any comments or questions about the order form? No? Okay, I would like to hear some challenges that you're having when you call people for the follow-up. What kind of stuff responses are you getting? Oh, come on, I'm not the only one that has
They don't
people.
respond.
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about asking about, they don't even wait till I say anything. It's like, how much? Well, did you watch the videos? Did you go to a podcast? Like, money, money, money at the first question. I'm so tired of it. I don't know.
Okay, so when people say that to me, I say, well, I can show you how to get your patches paid for. Are you interested in hearing about that? And then I just tell them, how I can help them share with a couple of people and they can make enough money to get their own patches covered. But when you show the value, people come up with the money. Those same people that tell you they can't afford it are going to Las Vegas and blowing all kinds of money, or they're going to Starbucks, or they're people spend money where they want to spend money. So we have to get good at showing the value. And you show the value by building the rapport. Sheila, you want to add something?
What you just said, showing the value. How much do you value your health? Okay, maybe you're only in your 40s, but you know what? Being 15 years older than you, I value my health a lot more than I did when I was in my 40s. Maybe it's something that you might want to think about. Okay, those are things that you can say to people, tickle their mind. Some people may say, I don't give a crap about my health. Okay, then I'm going to move on. All right, move on, right? Isn't that something else, Jan? I mean, to me, about pre-qualifying, it allows you, and I never really liked this thought because of the way Peter says it, but it's true. Okay, stop wasting my time.
Yeah, find people like you or better than you. And it's not like they're a better human being, but
No.
yeah.
I like what Cynthia wrote. How much do you value being physically able to still go to Las Vegas?
Right. Yeah, I had a lady who was squawking about the price yesterday, and I just kept talking to her, finding out what was going on with her. And I'm like, for $299, why wouldn't you try that? And she's like, okay, I'll try it. And then I got her set up on auto ship too. So, you just have to learn to listen and be confident in what you're talking about, ask questions and help them problem solve. And plant the seed. I had a lot of people, oh, I'm not interested in building the business. Okay, that's fine. But, if you ever do, just let me know. And then I woke up this morning to a text from one of the gals. I didn't think I was so excited, but I talked to my sister-in-law. What information am I supposed to send her? And it amazes me, like, what did I send to you? Look at the first email I sent you. I told you go to startx39now.com and watch this. So what do you think I answered to her? Send her startx39now.com, go to the third video down and watch David Schmidt. That's what you send people. It's our exposing site. It's our education site. People amaze me. I had one lady who said she watched everything, but people, they want you to assure them, well, what's in the patches? And I'm thinking, you told me you looked at all this stuff. She asked the same question like 3 or 4 times, but she finally signed up on a silver pack. So I don't know what I'm doing, but something's working. So
You're
who else is
believing in
having,
yourself, Jan?
I guess, who else is having some challenges with follow-up?
I know Jenny has a question, and then Doris looks like she may have something to say as well.
I just wanted to say real quick, when you have someone on the PC and they get the free samples every month, somebody told me, and it's a really great idea, before they get the next month's sample, I send them info on that patch. So I just send them a simple little link to that patch from David. And then also, I do tell them, I mean, even when you tell them, how much are you spending on meds, or, this has helped me. And now I'm living again. I'm working. I was in debt with 2 other companies. I literally sold my products to buy the gold pack. I did whatever it took because I knew how important stem cells were. I need to get that across. I think that I'm sorry. I need to get that across because they're so important. And I'm not getting it across. I know how important it is as an RN. I just need to get that across to people.
Then you need to get third party. Third party is invaluable. It's like sometimes, like in the beginning, like who am I? I didn't have credibility like Dr. Stacy and Marcy and April. That third validation is just so powerful. So you can all call me if you ever need somebody. I mean, I'm here to help everybody. If you're on my personal team, you get a little extra, but it is what it is. Anyways, who else had a
Doris,
question?
did you?
I have a question about MLM.
Okay. Is that what they're asking you? Is this MLM?
Okay, so this has come up very frequently for me, and I don't know if it's just in my area or not. And I do not have a background in MLM, so I'm like, it's kind of a new topic for me. And they say, I don't want to have anything to do with MLM. Can I just buy cash from you? I don't want my name anywhere. I don't want to be on an email list. I don't want to be on a website. I just want to buy the product, but I want to buy it for cash, and that's it. So something is very important about this, and it's not clear to me. But my question is, since that comes up as a follow-up, and I mean, so what would you do with that as
That's a great question, and I've had that happen. And I've had people that just don't use credit cards. Same thing, they don't want to give you the information. Say, great, sell me the amount of money and you place it on your order and you have it sent to them. That's one way to do it. Another thing that you can do is, and I learned this from many MLMs ago, you can say, oh my gosh, what happened? You must have a story about MLM, and let them tell you their experience. I get that. If Marcy had told me the night we went to dinner, it was a couple after she had been in the LifeWave for like 2 months before we had dinner. If she had said to me, Jan, I found another MLM, I would have turned around and ran out of the restaurant. But she didn't. We sat down, we had dinner. I love Marcy. I hadn't seen her for a couple of years because of the cancer. And she started telling me, her story, and that she's got this new gifting business. And the way she approached me with it was like, oh, gifting, I could do that. But if she had said, oh, it's another MLM, I just would have shut down. But I learned from Eric Worre, you always say, wow, what happened to you? You must have a story. People love telling their stories. Find out what happened to them. And then, depending on your knowledge of this company, you can start sharing a little bit about, David and how it all started. He was working on submarines with the government, and, they contacted him to create something to keep the Navy SEALs, and you can just tell the story of the company. But if somebody doesn't want to give you information, take their money and buy it on your own. Or, okay, so here's a little trick that you can do. If you have people under you that need points, or you need to get somebody active, you can go into their back office, buy it under them, and have it shipped to whoever you want to ship it to. That's a little sneaky, but we do it.
Thank you very much. Thank you for helping.
And the other thing to tell people is I'm not in multi-level marketing. This is not, okay? This is sharing health. Okay. And if you don't want your health better, great. Okay. I've gotten to a point, and I know this sounds kind of blunt. It's like Jan's bluntness. Okay. My sister-in-law, she's on the phone. She's seen me change over the last 3.5 years. Okay. And she's moaning and groaning about her back pain from this and that, and going to the doctor. And now he's making her do this. And I said, Sandy, I'm going to give it to you one more time. And I sent her Start X39 now. And when it came right down to it, and I totally respect and love this woman forever, she said, my concern, okay, in this crazy ass world we are living right now, my concern is that this is the mark of the beast. Okay. Okay. That it has some kind of technology in it. And I proceeded to explain to her what it is again and give her the site. And I turned after we got off the phone and I told my husband, I love her and I will never talk to her about this again in a way of sharing it. It's her turn to come to me. Okay? Because that is secondary gain there. Okay? God is going to take care of me. And I said, this is the miracle from God. Okay? So you cannot change people's mind. People over here in the chat are talking about, well, I don't want to hear other people's testimonies because they have their problem is they don't believe strangers they know. Okay, great. Okay, shake the dirt off your sandals and walk away. Okay, stop taking it personally. I am not taking it personally. I will always have my sister-in-law as one of my closest, most best friends. All right, but I don't have to listen to her anymore say I got a backache, and she knows it. Okay, you have to put up your parameters about allowing people to suck your energy too. And that's what some people are doing as you're trying to share the patches. Okay.
Yep.
Doris, did you have something to share? Doris tried a couple of different times. I don't even see the screen now.
Yeah,
right?
I'm here.
Okay, Doris, there you are.
Well, I have a person that she thinks she's very healthy and she wants it terribly for her husband that has knee problems and her daughter and granddaughter that have all kinds of problems. But they kind of like your sister-in-law, I think it's not good, from the devil or whatever.
Mhm.
And I just, what do you do with somebody like that? How do you, she believes in it, she's trying it, but she feels she's healthy.
Mhm.
And I don't know where to go from there. Just let them.
She needs to let him walk. Okay.
Okay.
Can't force.
Yeah, and I sometimes use the example, people, have you ever heard stories about these people that they think they're so healthy and then they drop dead of a massive heart attack? You think you're healthy, you don't feel your arteries hardening. You don't feel, if you're told you have cancer, you didn't just get cancer. The cancer's been growing in your body for years. You don't feel your hair turning gray. You don't feel your wrinkles coming. It's like you don't feel that stuff internally until you get that first symptom, and then it's been there for years. So sometimes I just bring those examples to people and they're like, oh yeah, a friend of mine did die of a massive heart attack who thought they were healthy, and I say a couple of different things. Everybody knows somebody that's had cancer. I mean, if you don't, you're lucky, but I've lost so many people to cancer. You just have to listen and give examples. And that's why it's so important to listen to the testimonial calls, at least 2 or 3 a week, because it might not be something for you, but it's going to help you when you're having a conversation with somebody that has something. And you can go, oh my God, I just heard that, 2 nights ago. I'm going to send you that testimonial, and if somebody doesn't want it, they don't want it. Next, just move on.
That's
But
it.
people are watching you. People watch. Oh, here's a story. So I have a neighbor who was in my last business, big talker. I'm going to do this. And I know all these people and blah, 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 blah. Never did a thing. Haven't seen him for a couple of years. Walk into the event in Arizona and I look up and who's there? This guy, my neighbor. Because he was in that last business, he knew Peter No. Peter No contacted him. So Peter No brought him into the business.
Wow.
So shame on me for not reaching out. But you know what? If he does something, God bless him. He didn't do
Right.
anything the last time. So the point is, if you know somebody, call them anyways. You got nothing to lose. Or you're going to see him at an event under somebody else.
That's right. So you know what, I think this call was amazing today. And I think that next week we will continue this call with the follow-up and what did we call it? Closing. follow up in closing. So I just want to say thank you to everybody here. I'm really grateful. I'm grateful for all those people that go and look at Jan and Mai's recorded calls and sign up to my YouTube site. If you aren't on this call on a Friday morning, you'll get a notice that it's dropped and loaded. And you just might want to share it with some of your downline because maybe they're having issues with intros. Okay. Maybe sharing is going to help you build your community. Anything else for this morning, Jan?
No, I just want you to own your power and don't give it away. Don't give it to the people that you're talking to. You keep your power. You stay in control. That's all.
Sheila, do you read your comments on the YouTube channel?
Usually
I
I
have something to ask you and I don't have your text number, so I was gonna write it there.
you can, here's my phone number, 808-793-7901. Just please be respectful of the fact that I am 6 hours behind.
No, I got you.
Eastern time.
I get calls at 11 o'clock at night from California wanting to do business or asking me questions. I get it.
So yes, you can text me, Jenny. All right. I think we're going to shut her down today. We will see you next Friday to continue this conversation.
Fabulous.
Bring your downline, bring your upline, anybody that you know that could benefit from this call, we would love to share with. Okay.
Jan, you rock. Sheila, you rock.
Oh,
Jan,
thank
you did
Oh
great.
God, the best.
Thank you
call,
both.